that.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, boy. Amazing. Oh, there's Snooty. Oh, there's
That's Snooty there.
yeah, he sure does. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at him petting him, John.
Yeah.
Look at him petting him.
Isn't that terrific?
Well, he took the whole tube with him. So hard.
Yeah. Look at that. It's right.
Well, you see her.
How's everybody doing?
Well.
Good. You guys are all set to learn about elephants, right? I'll throw that one out there first because these animals here in front of you, the West Indian manatee, their closest living relative is actually the elephant. Look at it. Gray skin, rough in texture, they have hair all over their body. They have a prehensile lip, very, very similar to the elephant's trunk. They're quite smart. And their feet look about the same, other than the manatees here kind of got ran over by a steamroller at one point. But other than that, they look quite a bit alike. So these are here in front of you guys, these are the West Indian manatees, also known as sport manatees or sea cows. Whatever you wish to call them, they have 3 of them. The 2 younger ones that you see in the tank, they're part of our rehab program. They are a 2nd stage rehab center here for wild manatees. So that means that Longer right here and Chino down there, they're part of our rehab program. And both these animals were brought in because of cold stress. You guys know what cold stress is? Manatees don't like cold water. That's why they live here in Florida. Anything less than 68 degrees Fahrenheit is too cold for a manatee. And they can actually get frost or cold stress, which is frostbite. So, Chino. He's the one still down there on the bottom. He's about 550 pounds, about 2 to 3 years old. The one diving down there now is about 3 to 4 years old, about 700 pounds. Our goal with these 2 animals is to get them to 800 pounds each so we can get them released back out into the wild. What is wrong with that piece? What's up here with you today? So anyways, the 2 little guys, even though they're here in our care, it's still against the rules for us to touch them, hand feed them, give them water. Same things that you guys are going to run into out in the wild. Even though they're in our care, we're 2nd stage. So that means the animals that are here are independent. They're able to surface on their own, breathe on their own, and feed on their own. If we're not doing those things, then this just isn't the place for them. So we'll stay at the Manatee Hospital a little bit longer. What's his name? Yeah, he's really living up to that right now, isn't he? How old is Mr. Snooty here?
65.
Excellent. He just turned 65. He is the world's oldest manatee, and he is setting records every day to show us how long they can live. I don't know if he wants.
Probably wants an apple.
Broccoli went down better than lettuce.
That for a while.
How about it?
You're on the broccoli, then you're going to have to. So Snooty, 65 years old, weighs in at 1,020 pounds, and he's just under 10 feet long. This is about the average size for an adult male manatee. This is about how big they get. Now Snooty does live a very different lifestyle. I'm sure you guys have already figured that one out. He knows how to work over each and every one of his handlers to get exactly what he wants. You guys have already seen that so far. He started out down in Miami, July 21st, 1948. He was raised by 2 fishermen for the first year of his life. And then they couldn't do it anymore, so Snooty came up here to Bradenton, and he's been a part of this community ever since. When he was 31 years old, he became mascot of Manitee County. In his more recent years, he became a member of the AARP. Now that he's 65, I'm curious to see what else comes his way. 3 years ago, he was on the front page of the phone book, as well as on the back of a bus. And that birthday party draws in about 5,000 people during the 4 hours that we have it for him. So he's a very, very popular guy. He is a non-releasable manatee. He's never been out in the wild. He's not going. He was raised by fishermen. Here he's continuing to be hand-fed, even though he does have the ability to swim around the tank and do what these guys do. He doesn't want to. He just wants to be hand-fed. So it works for us. This is where we spend several hours of our day, since he wants to be hand-fed. He is trained. We are able to do research with him. He's actually 1 in 5 manatees around the entire state that can be worked with the same way that he is. As far as training goes, Snooty here, he is trained to roll over, present a flipper, and pee in a cup. Very talented. He's over 1,000 pounds. He does need to see his vet at least 2 times a year. Sometimes the vet makes surprise visits. So it's important that we can get Snooty here to roll over. That allows us to check out his entire underside, present a flipper, get some blood draw from him, and pee in a cup. That's how we get our urine sample. So are these mammals or fish? They'd have to be, right? They're closely related to the elephant. Mammals, breathing air, having hair, and giving live birth. Breathing air. You guys should see them do that at least a couple times while you're here. They need to breathe at least once every 5 minutes while they're active and moving around. And when they're sleeping, these guys can stay down for about 20 and 30 minutes at a time. So if you walk by later when there's nobody out here, and you see one of these two face first out where the rocks, they're either sleeping or they're digging up our filter system. They did that last night. Pulled one of our pipes all the way out. Having hair, they're completely covered in hair. It's all over their body. They use their hair as a sensory system to feel what's around them. If you look really closely, especially as their back breaks the surface, you may be able to see some of these hairs. The hair on their face, they use those hairs basically the same way that you and I use our fingers. Manatees have fingers, and as they get close to you guys here, you may be able to see toenails, but still their hands are stuck like this on the inside. They can't do anything with it. They can get lucky when they bend at the elbow and kind of catch things in the middle and eat off of it. They don't have any dexterity. They can't hold anything. So they use that prehensile lip very similar to the elephant's trunk to help them get a hold of things. Live birth, female manatees. Are they the same size as our males, larger or smaller? Smaller. I think I heard one correct answer right here. Females are larger. Females are a lot larger than the males. Snooty's 1,000 pounds. Females average about 2,000. You want to see bigger than that? And you may be able to see it out in the wild, but up at Homosassa Springs State Park, they have Rosie. Rosie is in her 40s, weighs 3,300 pounds, and she's about 14 feet long. Makes Snooty look like a little baby.
Oh, I took a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Females are pregnant for about 2 years. They're pregnant for about a year, and then they'll take care of their calf for 2 years. So after 2 years, their calf is considered independent. It can go off on its own and do its own things. Manatees in general are semi-social, so they do hang out in groups or herds, but the very next day you may see that herd split apart. Everybody doing their own thing. So they're semi-social. I think that's kind of like people. About predators. What animal is out there in the ocean chasing down this lovely creature every day and trying to eat it?
Human. Oh, sharks.
Predator, what do they have?
Sharks.
There you are. Good job, guys. Nothing. Manatees don't have a known natural predator.
Just us.
Manatees don't have to worry about about sharks, they don't have to worry about whales or dolphins if those were to hurt them. Gators, not an issue. Manatees here, they do have to worry about people. Basically anything that we create hurts them. Boat traffic, fishing line, fishing nets, pollution, trash, habitat loss. These are all ways that we affect these animals. And manatees are very endangered, so it's very important that we keep an eye out on them, see how they're doing. Try to get trash, debris, and things like that up out of the water so there's less chance of them getting injured. What do you think their average lifespan is right now out in the wild? What's that?
40.
About 5 to 8 years old. So it used to be about 30, maybe 40 years old, but as more problems arise for them, their lifespan just keeps dropping. Now they also have to worry about cold water and red tide. Those are natural things that affect their lifestyle. Red tide this year killed about 250 of our manatees in the first 4 months of the year. Those are serious problems.
Oh, the resolution isn't to crawl yet.
And then lastly, food. What do manatees
You
eat?
can't tell the difference in quality unless you can blow it up and make it.
Lettuce.
Now that's the lowest.
What do they eat out in the wild?
This looks like it's lowest.
Yeah,
Yes,
any
it
types
is.
of plants.
I think I
You guys see how fast they are?
That's pretty good.
They don't have any teeth from out of their mouth.
I never played.
What exactly would you like them to catch? They're only eating plants, but they need to eat a lot of plants every day. They didn't get this big having, a dinner salad. That doesn't work. They're called sea cows for a reason. They're always going around and eating or grazing.
Hold it, push it.
So every day, they eat about 8 to 10% of their body weight, which is equal to what we have over here on the dock. I'll get to your questions in
I
just a
just saw that
minute.
you can record.
This is freshwater.
I can record too.
Cover that in a minute.
Figured I'm just playing with the mic.
Food. So this is what they go through every single day here at the aquarium. We come in at 7 a.m. to bring all this stuff up to them. They usually start eating it right around 8, and then they'll work on it throughout the evening. At the end of the day, we'll throw in more of those tubes like I did at the beginning of the show, and we'll just work on it throughout the night. This will be nice and spotless by morning. Jimmy here by himself, he gets 2 of those boxes of romaine. He eats about 60 to 70 pounds worth every day. He also gets about 3 pounds of cabbage, 3 pounds of kale, 2 pounds of broccoli, a pound of sweet potatoes, a pound of carrots, and an apple every day. For his birthday this year, he got Brussels sprouts, celery, strawberries, and pineapples, which is strawberries, Brussels sprouts, he still has left. Alright, so adapting freshwater to saltwater, it doesn't matter. Pick it up in freshwater, put it in saltwater, they'll adapt just fine. These are shallow water animals, and they hang out near the shoreline. They typically don't like to be in water that's 20 feet or more.
Look at that. See? I just saw this in nose.
Oh, there he goes.
High five.
High five, yeah.
Are there any more questions?
Do they ever fight with each other?
Nope. They have just molars, they can't make a fist, not aggressive. Any other questions? You guys are a big group and an easy group. Well, I do have more tanks that are scattered around that back part of the room up there. I'll be up there in a few minutes to start talking about those if you guys wish to stick around. If not, thank you guys very much for your time and have a wonderful day here at the Southport Museum. Thank you. Oh, I don't think that
In a minute.
Now we can.
We have to wait. They're coming.
What is coming? What is coming? I'm gonna look at the
Starfish over there, that side.
So now there's
That's next
4.
door.
See?
There's 3 of that thing. Where did this water go?
Did you ask about a garbage?